现在要冲啊！
你不要太过分哦！
我赶着要占领这剧场，你。
目前我告诉你啦，这里就是 TPC 跟 CCS2 都可以停，你有看到吗？
停那边呢？
刚刚就满的啊！
还暴力拔掉充电枪，甚至对女驾驶动手动脚。
他想要按按钮去解锁充电枪，那他按不到之后，他就很生气，他就是要把我给拖下车，然后导致我手腕有红肿，有受伤。
火爆过程全被哨兵模式拍下。
我停在这边，我就是要冲啊！你可以一下大家互相这样就好了吗？
为什么我要跟你互相啊？
那你就不要嘛！那你就不要啊！
亏损等罪，函送侦办。
而挨告的廖姓男子当时准备要载客人去机场，情绪失控的画面传回车行，业者准备跟他解约，现在丢了工作，还反告女车主妨害自由，双方准备对簿公堂。
Recently, there's a video going viral here in Taiwan. So basically, there's one guy and one woman. They're arguing about charging. But to tell you what happened, I need to give you some context. Actually, the Tesla vehicles in Taiwan, there are two different charging standards. There are TPCs and there are CCS2 charging ports. The cars before 2021 utilized the TPC standards and later called the NACS standard. It's widely used in the North America. And what happened is that during that time, around that 2020, 2021, Tesla cars are getting popular here in Taiwan, and there are more people buying EVs. And at that time, the government was trying to set a standard for national charging standards. They ignored the fact that at that time, Tesla still has the largest number of vehicles in Taiwan, and also that time maybe 95% of the charging stations are Tesla's charging stations. So Tesla had this dominance of EVs market in Taiwan during that time. Taiwanese government sometimes they do these kind of things. I think this is pure stupidity because they're always trying to bet on standards, but many of the times they bet on the wrong one, and they completely ignore what the consumers or the EV owners are used to at that time. Because that time, if you talk about EVs, mostly people know Tesla, and that was when the time Tesla vehicles started to gain traction and started to grow fast here in Taiwan. So there are not many third-party charging stations, and mostly you see the EVs running on in the streets, basically Teslas. I think I can make many examples of this kind of government stupidity trying to pick a side, but they always pick the wrong side, and they are completely out of the reality. Every new cars after that time period started to be equipped with the CCS2 charging port. So that is one of the reasons that the viral video is about. If you charge your Tesla here in Taiwan, you will see many of the charging units have dual chargers with both the 2 cables and 2 chargers for CCS2 and TPC. And what happened that day is the woman just got her Tesla earlier that day, and she was driving on the highway, and she went to the resting station with Tesla chargers. And I guess during that time the CCS2 chargers were fully taken. She chose the dual charger station with both charger adapters. So she was charging there, and she was staying in her vehicle inside, and there was another guy approach her. The guy is in the airport pickup service, and he seems to be in a hurry, and he's driving a TPC Tesla, and he was really rude, and he knocked on the window of the woman and asking her to move her vehicle. And the woman says that this is the dual chargers, I'm allowed to use this one. She insisted not moving, and the guy went berserk, and he went like, he was cursing her, he was pounding the window, And he even tried to remove the chargers from the woman's vehicle, and also he opened the door of the vehicle and he tried to drag her out with force and causing her to have some bruise on her arm. So they were getting more and more intense, and there was some bystanders, and they're trying to explain to the bystanders what happened. I think the guy has no right to do that. He has no right to remove other people's charging port, and the woman is legally sound to charge her vehicle over there. And if he had maybe asked her more politely for assistance with better manners, and maybe she would have helped him, but instead he went berserk and becomes like almost went crazy. And people from the Tesla community are all for her because she stood up to the bully, and she fought for her right to continue charging. And people just look up the guy and exposing his personal information, and even his company. Some journalists even go so far as to go to the company where the guy is working. I don't think that is appropriate behavior. I think that's a little bit over the board, but I think she has every right to continue use her service, continue to charge her vehicle. But there are a couple of learnings here. I think first, as the EVs, the Tesla owners or even EV owners are still a minority here in Taiwan. And we do see some people have very inappropriate behaviors here. But as a community, we enjoy EVs. I think we should try to be respectful. I think this is a general mannerism, right? This is how you behave and interact with other human beings with respect and politeness. And that's the first one. And the second one is like, when you're charging in your vehicle, just make sure you lock your vehicle. I think many people, when I go to the superchargers, and not everyone is accustomed to lock on the door when they put on the charger and they stay inside the car, because the Tesla doesn't automatically lock the car unless the car is in movement, right? So remember just to do that. And the third one is the Tesla. If you see the footage, the woman took the recording from the Tesla from the side cameras, but actually the Tesla camera system doesn't include the recording of the sounds. The woman, I think she mounted a third-party recorder on the rear mirror, which also records the sound. If she didn't have that, without the sound, you would have no idea what happened, and you wouldn't know how rude and how the man went berserk and went on shouting and pounding and cursing her in all these kind of terrible words. So I think it is wise and smart to have a third-party recorder